Almost everyone is familiar with this one calf stretch. Hands on the wall, 1 foot back, and lean in until you feel the stretch. But there are a handful of small adjustments you can make to this one position that turn it from an isolated exercise into a full spectrum calf stretch. That's what I want to show you today. 2 simple controls, and how each one targets more precisely what you're trying to stretch. What we casually call the calf is really 2 muscles. On the surface, the part you can see and grab is the gastrocnemius. It starts above the knee, crosses the back of the knee joint, and runs all the way down to the heel. So it spans 2 joints, the knee and the ankle. Underneath it, deeper, sits a second muscle, the soleus. It's broader, quieter, and only crosses the ankle. It doesn't cross the knee at all. Both these muscles join at the bottom and blend into the Achilles tendon, which attaches to your heel. Keep those 2 muscles in mind because the whole video is really about sorting between them. The gastrocnemius spans the knee and the ankle, and the soleus only spans 1 joint at the ankle. Let's build the base position. Start with your hands on the wall and 1 foot back in a lunge stance. The back heel stays flat on the floor. Letting it lift is how you cheat your way out of the stretch, so don't let your heel float. Now, lean towards the wall until you feel a stretch in the back leg. This is the basic position that we'll be adjusting everything from, so get familiar with it. The first control is whether your knee is straight or bent, as this decides whether you're stretching the gastrocnemius or soleus muscle. Start with the back leg straight. Lean in and notice where you feel the stretch. Try to notice any resistance, and if you can, relax and let yourself slowly melt into it. Remember when I told you that the gastrocnemius crosses the back of the knee? Well, that's why keeping your knee straight lights it up, because the gastroc gets pulled tight across that joint when the knee is extended. If you bend your knee, you release some tension in the gastrocnemius at the knee joint. With a straight leg, the gastrocnemius is the line of tension that stops your ankle from going any further, so that muscle takes the stretch. Bending the knee feeds some slack into the more superficial gastrocnemius. With a bent knee, the gastroc is barely stretching at all, and because that tight gastroc was the thing holding your ankle back, releasing that line of tension lets the ankle bend further than it could before. That deeper ankle bend is what loads the soleus underneath more directly, as that muscle only crosses the ankle and lies closer to the bones. So a straight leg highlights the gastrocnemius, and a bent knee lets your ankle travel deeper to highlight the soleus. Try both and focus on the subtle difference in the sensation of the stretch. Can you feel a difference? The second control is smaller, and most people don't really think about it. It's the angle of your back foot. This time, before you lean in, set your back foot down with the toes already turned. First, slightly outward, and on another go, slightly inward. Keep the rest the same, whether straight leg or bent leg. Lean in and notice the subtle differences in where you feel the stretch across the calf. Okay, now it's worth being accurate about what's actually happening here, because it isn't just your foot turning. When you plant your foot with your toes turned and then lean in, you're really rotating the whole leg above a fixed foot. And that twist gets shared across a few places at once. The subtalar joint just below the ankle, the joints through the middle of the foot, and rotation of the shin bone itself. Together, they hold the foot tilted and turned against the line of pull of the calf, and that's what changes where the calf stretch is focused. Turning the toes out tends to send the stretch towards the inside, towards the inner head of the gastroc and the inner side of the Achilles. Turning the toes in tends to send it towards the outside, towards the outer head. And I'm saying tends to on purpose. Your foot and ankle are unique to your body, and there are lots of variables with this control. So the stretch might land somewhere less predictable. The point is, don't chase what I'm saying, follow what you feel. You're steering where the stretch lands, not cranking it to the limit. Now you have two controls, using a bent or straight knee to access the specific muscle, gastroc or soleus, and adjusting the foot angle to target the inside or outside of the calf muscles. With these controls, your calf stretch becomes 3D. If your calves tend to feel really tight and restricted, here's an easy way to put this to work. First, spend a few minutes exploring with the toes pointed straight, the toes turned in, and the toes turned out in both the bent knee and straight knee versions. Find the one toe position in each knee orientation, bent and straight leg, that feel the most intense. That's the variation to focus on. Then, for the next 6 to 8 weeks, focus on both the bent leg and straight leg variations with the toe angle that stands out the most for you. That's about a minute per position per leg, which lands around 4 minutes a day. That's not asking a lot. Check the angle at least once a week, because as things start to balance out, the toe angle that stands out may change. 6 to 8 weeks isn't a magic number. In the first week or two, whatever new range you feel is mostly your nervous system easing off, learning how to allow the movement. The actual tissue changes are slower. They build over weeks and months. There's no single day where it all clicks into place. 6 to 8 weeks just gets you to a point where the fast changes have settled and the slower ones have started. So it's a fair test of whether this is doing something real for you. If genuine calf tightness is what's holding you back, that's usually enough time to feel a real difference. Everything isn't all about stretching. If your real goal is more ankle mobility, then stretching your tight calves is only one ingredient in that soup. Dorsiflexion isn't just a flexibility problem, it's about whether your body trusts you to control that range under load. And stretching is not the tool to deliver that layer of change. Things like the deep squat and balance work, where the ankle has to bend and stabilize at the same time, tend to do far more. That's a whole topic on its own, and you can see links to videos about each of those at the end of this video. Stretching is not all you need, but it's a good start. We tend to treat a stretch like a repair. Something feels tight, we do the stretch, and we expect it to feel better. But the better move is to get to know your body. Build an honest picture in your mind of your own calf, the gastrocnemius, the soleus, the whole way down to the Achilles. So your body is familiar with that entire territory and your body stays comfortable moving through. It's not enough to just do the stretch. You have to be present and focused on your own body awareness. That's how one exercise against a wall becomes a full spectrum calf stretch.